I am getting so many messages a day right now about health concerns, and I'm telling you, they are all the same thing. Everybody is asking about symptoms of coccidia, and everybody is asking about symptoms of respiratory illness, and most of y'all are grouping them together, and they are not the same thing. So let's talk about those, and I'm going to split this video into two videos. This first part will be about coccidia, and the second part will be about respiratory issues. 'Tis the season, y'all. It is hot, it's humid, there are mosquitoes out, and it's just the time of year where we see an uptick in coccidia and we see an uptick in respiratory illnesses. Before I go any further, Miss London over at London's Priorities has been plugging this book, but I'm going to do the same thing because this book is a lifesaver for us chicken keepers, beginner chicken keepers, who are in areas where there may be not vet access, or vet access is not financially in the cards. This book has helped me so much in my chicken keeping journey, and there is so much information in here to diagnose and treat illnesses. So above all things, I always support doing secondary research. Don't just listen to what I'm saying or anybody else on TikTok or the interwebs. Get some reading material and do some secondary research. Coccidia is a gastrointestinal illness. It is essentially a protozoan parasite that attaches to the gastrointestinal tract and causes sometimes negative symptoms in our chickens. Typically, coccidia is something that's just present in our chicken's intestinal tract, but sometimes for some reason with chicks, either their immune systems are compromised for some reason, or they're just exposed to an overabundance of the parasite and their immune system can't really function with it, and we start to see negative consequences. Typically, we see it in younger chicks, 16 weeks and younger in my experience. For me, I don't typically see it in a brooder. Normally it's once they get exposed to the soil, although sometimes you can see it in a brooder too because they just kind of pick it up from waste material around the brooder. But symptoms include things like listless, not eating, not drinking. Usually you'll see the chicks over in a corner by themselves. Usually they're sort of like popped up. I say they look like baby vultures because they're just sort of like, they look uncomfortable. In the worst case scenario symptoms, you will see them pooping blood, and usually by the time it's progressed to that point, they're probably near death, honestly, because coccidia, once it starts to kill them, it takes them out very quickly. This time of year in particular, when it's hot and it's wet, that is a breeding ground. So this time of year, I typically, when I'm moving chicks from my brooders outside onto the soil, will do a preventative course of treatment. I don't use medicated feed. This brings us to the point of treatment. Treatment for coccidia is really simple. Prevention is really simple. There is a medicine on the market. It's not an antibiotic. You can still purchase it in farm stores, and it's called Cord. I don't have the bottle right here. I can't do videos outside because it's like torrential downpouring, but it's Cord. I'll picture it. And there is a really quick, easy reference chart that you can just look up on the internet, chicken dosage for Cord, or you can message me on my Facebook page. I will happily send you the screenshot that I use for dosing Cord. It works really quickly. It works by blocking B vitamins. So while you're treating with Cord, you want to make sure that the water with the Cord in it is the only source of water that the chickens have. No vitamins and electrolytes during treatment. No medicated feed during treatment. After treatment's over with, it's okay to then consider doing a dose of vitamins and electrolytes. People have asked about side effects, and breeds like Silkies, for example, tend to have they're more prone to vitamin deficiency issues. I have never had negative consequences of using Cord, but definitely not using Cord when the chickens have coccidia. Death is a much bigger side effect to me than any vitamin deficient issues that are possible, although I haven't seen them. That's why after treatment with Cord, a course of vitamins and electrolytes in the water, even probiotics if you have them to help get the gut health back on track, is not a bad idea. Cord works really fast too, so typically once you start treating with Cord, you should start to see results within like a day or two. So now let's move on to respiratory illnesses, and I'll cover that in the part 2 of this video.